Hello Internet. This is a how-to or a tutorial on how to fix, repair, clean, disassemble and reassemble a pair of look pivot bindings. This is a look pivot 18. Obviously look pivots are the best bindings in the world because they are pretty much indestructible and you can repair everything on your own. But you have to know your way around. I bought these relatively cheap from eBay Kleinanzeigen, and the guy I bought them from told me he did not know how to fix them because he wanted to, and maybe I could show him how I do it, and this is this video. I promised him to show him, and I thought, yeah, maybe I can show some other guys too, and I'll just do a little video. Obviously you need your lock pivot bindings, and I already started taking apart some of the screws and the helicoils they came with. Obviously you need some tools, a Phillips screwdriver or some flathead probably you will need them. Some flathead screwdrivers and maybe some, how do you call them? Twisters? I don't know the English word. To remove some screws that are a little stuck in there. Come out. Then you will need some cleaning detergent or some kind of cleaner that removes the grease. I have a bike cleaner, but any kind of grease remover will work. You could use some gasoline or some mineral liquid, I think it's the English word. Gas from the gas station will work too. And then to clean everything, you will need an old t-shirt or some old clothes or some paper towels. And to grease everything up again, you will need some grease. I have some French bike grease, c'est français, Graisse universelle, or some good old German Mehrzweckfett, like grasso multioso in Italian. Yeah, just grease to grease it back up. Then we can start removing all the parts. Put the heel pieces aside and be aware you don't want your fingers anywhere close to this part. I've been there, I've squeezed my thumb. Basically everyone working on look pivots has been there at some point. Be aware, don't go there with your finger if they are not all the way up already, because if they are all the way up already, your finger won't fit in there. But if they are like this, your finger will fit in, they can snap up and you basically squeeze your finger off. So we'll start with the toe pieces. Get yourself a big flat head screwdriver and remove the spring from the front. Just screw it out all the way. Basically, if you ever mounted a cast system or something like that, it's the same to do it like this. Then take out the big spring and the front part, you can put that on this. Then you can remove the toe piece, just fumble it out, and basically that's it. There's a little spacer that goes into the toe piece afterwards, so maybe we can put that in right again. But maybe it's not too dirty in there. You could take it out and clean it as well. So this little fucker looks relatively okay in the front. The back end could use some cleaning. I'll wipe off the grease really quick. So I'll take off the second toe piece using the flathead screwdriver. Where put I? There. Where did I put it? Did I meant to say? So screw that off as well. Then you could put this to the side, fumble it out. Not too dirty, but could use some cleaning. This one, it's a little dirtier up here. The thread looks a little worked, but it's just a little metal dust, I think. It will come off with the cleaning. So we disassembled the toe pieces, and you could basically just reassemble them the same way. Fumble this back up, like put this back in there, and then fumble it together like this. It's basically that's why I love this binding. It's completely, it's the best kind of engineering, you know. The people who built this binding, they really thought it through. I like products like this. I love it. An ape could disassemble and reassemble it. Like, you see how easy it is? Took me like a minute. One thing I forgot about the toe pieces is, if you ever manage to break those parts, you can take them off as well using like, they have a fitting one, I hope so, like a Torx head, I think. You see those screws here? You take a Torx head and then you can just remove them if you need to. So basically that's why it's the best binding. You can remove every part if it breaks. This part won't break because it's aluminum, it's metal. So this one is bomb proof. If you ever happen to manage to break these parts, because they are plastic, you could just take them out like this. Takes you like 15 seconds if you have already reassembled your toe piece, or disassembled your toe piece, however you want to call it. And then you can take this out and then switch it out for a new part if you want to. You see how easy it is? And put on the new part, put the screw back in, screw it back together, till the screw won't move anymore. Not any faster than that, because any tighter than that, like this, so it's okay. And then you have your toe piece reassembled and ready to go. If you ever want to maybe color is removing like this, you can see the metal, disassemble it, fumble it out. You could sand off your toe piece if you want to. You can switch out this window as well, sand it off, clean it like with a cleaner, remove all the grease and the dirt, and then you can just paint over it. Like people have been customizing their look pivots for quite some time. Crasher on Instagram is doing really nice paint jobs and really nice custom pivots. That's how they do it. The binding is basically self-explanatory. And yeah, back to the heel pieces. So to remove the heel pieces, you have to put them in this position to be safe with your fingers, because I once managed to put my finger in there and then I got it squeezed. You have to be really careful. Put it down, press down the brake, and then try to put your palm in here, and then try to not get your finger underneath, but just grab it in the very end. Just grab it in the very end and then move it up. Slightly move it up. That's it. If you don't want to get your finger in there because you see it's way too tight for a finger, it's not too tight if the binding is down, the heel piece is down, but it's way too tight if the heel piece is up. So if you have it like this, you can remove the heels from the base plate, and then you have these screws on each side, and just screw a few turns on the left side, a few turns on the right side, all the way till this one comes off. So a few turns on the right side, a few turns on the left side. Till the heel piece comes off. So once you have turned both of the sides, the screws on both sides enough, it will pop off, and then it will most likely look something like this. There's a lot of dirt or old grease on those screws, so I will clean that up and clean this one out with some cleaner or gasoline as well. You see some dirt coming out, but now you have everything disassembled. You could disassemble this toe piece, this heel piece as well, screwing the screw all the way till there is no connection to the spring anymore, I think. So there will be a little resistance in the end, and then this one will pop off. There will be like a little gap coming up, and there is this little spot. There's a metal pin in there, and you have to push it in order to remove this part, so you can clean the spring. So you need some kind of little metal device that fits in there, like one of those. Push this pin down. Use a flathead screwdriver to lift it up. Then you can, there's my other screwdriver there. Continue turning this. So you can turn this and turn till it comes off. Coffee machine is working. Forgot to turn it off. See, the gap is becoming bigger, and you can see the metal pin in there. And there are two latches, I think, and you have to lift them over in order to remove this kind of plastic. But you turn just screw just all the way, and it will, you can remove it. Now I can maybe put it like this, yes. So, metal pin in there. So when you screw it off for long enough, it will at some point look like this. There will be a gap. And in order to remove the plastic part and to free the spring, you will have to lift this thing up. The two latches here on both sides, they need to go over the part. So you see, just a little movement with the screwdriver was enough to push it off. And then maybe help a little with the screwdriver. push it off. There we go. So this is the plastic part for the heel piece. Already disassembled. So this needs to go back on the spring. The DIN window needs to go back on this little sliding plate here, and then you can push this on again if you need to. But I will clean it and then re-grease it. There you see the little metal pin I had to push to get this moving. Yeah, now I can clean everything and then put it back together. So now that I have everything removed or disassembled, all of the heel pieces, all of the base plates, you could also disassemble the base plate itself, but I won't do that because the base plates actually look really good, other than the grease stains here. So I just put them into the cleaner like this and then reassemble everything like the other way around. So in order to clean everything, put everything in a bowl and then put your cleaner on. Then you can just let it sink in for a few minutes. It's like the grease can get will dissolve. Also, if you happen to have an old toothbrush, you could use that afterwards to clean off the grease and the dirt. But just put everything in there. Put some cleaner over it. Also disassemble this one. This is some biodegradable, in German, biologisch abbaubar cleaner, bike cleaner. Same as Makov or something, which works pretty well to degrease everything and somehow, yeah, you can just flush it down the toilet afterwards. So you don't have to worry about where to put it. Just put enough water in it and then you can flush it down the toilet. It's the same like your usual dishwasher or something. Not like this gasoline, you don't want this in your toilet water or in the water circuit. Degrease also the springs. So this spring, I don't know, it's a little rusty. Rust comes off, you see. I will clean that and then it will be ready to go. But you saw it came out a little rusty, and if the cleaner doesn't do its work with the rust, the gasoline will. But don't use too much gasoline because you have to use paper towels and it's all going to rubbish or to waste bin, and also it will stink. So use this nice cleaner to clean off the grease. Put everything in there. And then you can start cleaning and drying it up. That's the next step. Look, pivot salad. Nice. So after you put all your pieces together and you put enough cleaner on, you will have to clean every part for its own. So take it out and just clean everything. Takes a while, but you can really remove the dirt and the old grease here. Use some paper towels so you don't fuck up your interior. And this will take a while, but you get the idea. I'll make a cut and then you will see all the clean products. Just one more thing, I just started cleaning with this part and had the idea to show you guys. A Q-tip fits perfectly in there, so you could use a Q-tip to get out the dirt from these two holes. You see there's a lot of metal and rust coming out. Basic cleaning work, actually. Use your brain and clean the stuff. This is not rocket science. Halfway through the cleaning process, I just wanted to show you one quick thing. If there is some residue glue on the bases of the toe piece, take a flathead screwdriver and scrape it off like this, because sometimes the cleaner won't dissolve this glue, so you have to scrape it off. And also, if you degrease the big springs or the binding springs, you can just fold the paper towel and put it in this like this, and then screw the spring around the paper towel, and it will eat up the dirty grease. Obviously these ones are already clean. The little spring from the heel piece is a little rusty, but I removed as much rust as I could, and I think I can put it back in. As you can see, this is like new. This has seen some humidity inside the heel piece and it oxidated a little bit, but it's still fine. I will continue cleaning all the left pieces I have. I switched to using gas halfway through the cleaning process because the grease on the toe pieces, especially on the toe pieces, was like really dry and hard to get off with the basic cleaner, so I had to use the gas. Right now it smells a little bit, it will be fine afterwards. Just make sure you have enough windows open, or open enough windows if you use this gasoline to clean the stuff. You don't want to breathe it in all the time. Another thing I just wanted to show you, the toe pieces, they have this little ring here, which is like, should be moving for vertical release, and it should move in all directions. So to make sure when you clean it, this one moves in all directions, and make sure the other one does as well. Here it's a little sticky, move it free. And then afterwards, when everything is cleaned, I'll show you to put it in grease. We will re-grease that as well, so it can move freely. But just to make sure, if you clean the toe piece, clean this ring as well, so this one can move a little, because it's you need it for the vertical release and the horizontal release. So this is important for safety reasons. So I just finished cleaning all of the parts, and I noticed something I did not notice when I took them apart, because there are two different parts. Everything up here is two pieces of the same exact part, but these two parts are different. Obviously this one is longer than the other. These two parts are sitting inside the heel piece for the spring as a guidance. So you can put the spring back in there, like this. And I think they tried to fill in the missing part using this spring, because it's the same diameter as this pin, and it goes all the way into one of these pieces. Like those pieces get back screwed on top like this, so they compress the spring in the heel piece, and in one of those pieces there is a hole in it. You can see it has a hole in it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the hole is a little deeper than this one. So I figure they just tried to use this part. I don't know why they did that. Usually you would guess they use two of the same parts for each piece of binding, but I think it's just this one goes in there. We will grease it up before mounting it, and this one goes in there, and then you put that back. Obviously we need the spring. Here's the spring, the smaller one, there it is. And then you can put that stuff back together and compress it. But yeah, we'll grease it up and then we'll see how it will work. So I will start reassembling the top pieces, and I will start with this black parts and those screws. Those screws go back in there, and then they fit like this. You will need to make these parts go together, so we will grease that up a little bit, and also grease up the spring. This one is brand new, so we'll do that. Grease that stuff up. So, and then be careful what you touch when you have the grease on your hand. I will grease the spring as well. So everything has been cleaned and degreased, and we'll apply just a little grease here and there to make everything nice and smooth and protected from moisture. Again, so maybe a little more. Just so every piece of it has some grease on it. Then we can put that stuff back together. You need those spacers. The bigger one around the metal part, and the smaller one for going back in there. So the black one goes in there, and then you can fit those both parts back together like this. I forgot to mention, you also want to grease this little moving part here. So apply some grease on this part of the top piece, and then start moving this little ring around. So it's looped up again. I'll take this one apart, the other one apart as well again, because I forgot to grease that part. I just came across it where I wanted to mount the other one. But don't forget to grease this one up. So maybe I will switch the order in which I will display it, both parts, but you grease this up. You put this back, this stuff in there, and this one goes like this. A little bit of fumbling needed. Also, you need the spacer. The spacer has to go in there like the little notch faces towards the toes, or towards the nose of the ski, like this. Then we will fumble that together again, like this. And yeah, put this back on. And try to marry them together again. try to find it. Now they found each other. We can put it back like this. What was that? Okay, I thought there was a moving part, but it's all good. So after you put together the toe pieces, obviously you can screw down the screws as much as you want, but just to make them stick together is enough for now. I will set the pins after mounting them. So next up are the heel pieces, and we'll start applying some grease in thread in here, because these threads, they have to go together and they should not get stuck and should move like easily if you want them to. So apply some grease in there. Also protects this thread from moisture and getting too rusty. Grease up this thread here as well. Alright, and then grease up the spring. So like this, so it doesn't get stuck in there, can get compressed and can relieve itself if needed. So and yeah, this pin, because the spring moves around it, loop it up as well, like this. And then for this pair of bindings, I don't know why, but the heel parts are a little different. There are those plastic spaces, which are, I think they are going here on top, because they are exactly the same diameter as this one. And then we can try to get those together again, but we should not forget these pieces. They go over it like this, and then this metal pin has to go through this hole, so we'll have to lift it up a little bit and push it down like. And I also forgot, don't forget this window, the DNY window. Come on. This window for which indicates the DIN value you set your binding to, and it goes. I put some grease on it. But it goes, fits here, and then you put these pieces back together. The black, come on, the black indicator goes right behind it, and then you push everything down, so like this, and now you can see, already can see the window, and we screw down the top screw and make it fit back together. So in order to get it past this metal pin, you might have to push it down a bit using the screwdriver and maybe bend it a little to the side so it doesn't block this part and the part can slide all the way down. So after you put back together the heel piece, we can connect the heel piece to the base plate. There are some threads here as well, so we grease them up so the parts can move and moisture is prevented a little bit. As you can see, they are already a little rusty, but this will work for another decade or so, because these bindings are pretty much indestructible. Also, I will re-grease this moving, the pivoting heel as well, but I will connect this part as, first, because you have to, I will show you, turn this one, like give it one twist so it sticks, and then try to make the other one fit. It's a little, so like this. Not the easiest work if you have grease on your hands, but you will manage to do it. Then give this one like 1 or 2 twists as well. So it's already connected, and now we will try to move it down, but in an even way. So turn each screw like 1 or 3 times, 1 to 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then it will move down evenly. Here, I think could have turned one a little bit more. You will see it will move down, and I will move it up to the first. You can see there are 3 marks, which you can use to apply pressure, and this is the pressure indicator here, the white one. So I will just move them down and then apply the right pressure for my boot sole length when I mount the bit bindings. Just cover all the thread here, like this, and like this. So, and when you have done that, we can try moving down the binding. Also be careful with your fingers. So, and apply some grease here in this moving area. So this can move nice and free, and you don't have to break your skis while stepping out of your bindings or stepping into your bindings. Also, the pivoting heel, could use some slight greasing as well, don't overdo it here, because it should not be too loose. Just yeah, that should be fine. Also try and move it up again. Also, again, watch your fingers. Do that a few times. Also, watch your fingers every time. When you do it. So, like this. Yeah. I will go skiing tomorrow, so this will be probably fine and find its way. And that's how you, I will have to do the other part, but that's how you disassemble and reassemble. Disassemble, clean, maybe repair if you need to, and reassemble a look pivot binding. Also re-grease it for another decade or 2 decades to come. Honestly, I like this rough look because it looks like it has already been in use, which it has, but right now it's like pretty much like new. So we are all finished now, and for the next part
when you want to mount your bindings. Clean off all the extra grease, just using some paper towel. Maybe just wipe it off a little bit. And then you're ready to go and mount your bindings. So while cleaning them, I noticed something, and that could be the cause for the heel pieces being different. This plastic cap says pivot 14, and this one says pivot 18. And this had the hole, the long pin in it, and this one the shorter with the spring on top. So maybe this could be just the construction, and maybe someone switched it out for a 14 heel. But it's a bit strange because the din scale goes up to 18. I don't really care because I ride at 12 at maximum, like beginning of season at 10 or 11, and then I go up to 12 around mid-season. So I don't actually care about this, but this could be the cause why the heel pieces were different, and I just noticed this while cleaning. So if you have any insight about the construction, or if you have disassembled more look pivots than I have, because actually this is my second pair and I can't remember how the first one was. So if you have any insight about it, just let me know and we can maybe have a tech talk in the comments.